Hi, my name is Christina. I'm 32 years old and I was born without a thyroid. I'm making this video today for the parents out there who have recently found out that their child was born without a thyroid. I know as a parent myself that this can be a very scary thing. My parents have told me how when they first found out, they were very scared and didn't know at first what my future would be like. So I wanted to make this video to help put any parent's mind at ease and just explain what life has been like for me. I'm gonna go over how my parents found out, my medication, also what life was like growing up, and what life is like now and having kids and all that. As far as how my parents found out, I'm sure the testing wasn't that much different back in 1990, but when I was first born, like most newborns, like all newborns, they take blood from the foot and they test for multiple genetic things and I guess thyroid disorders as well. So about a month after I was born, my parents got a phone call from Cooper here in Camden, New Jersey, which is about an hour from where we had lived at the time. They told my parents, you guys have to bring your baby in. We have to make sure that we have the right baby. That like just freaked my mom out. She was like, what do you mean that you have the right baby? And she was definitely very worried at that point. They confirmed that I was born without a thyroid and they did some more testing. They explained to my parents that I would have to see an endocrinologist and that I would have to get blood work done every so often. As far as what life was like for me growing up, when I was a baby, my mom said that they always made sure that they measured my head. They had to put my thyroid medicine in my bottle because I was formula fed. They crushed it up and put it in my bottle. I always saw two doctors growing up. I saw a pediatric endocrinologist through Cooper, and then I saw my regular doctor as well. I believe when I was a kid, I was mostly on levothyroxine, I think it's called. They would always ask me if I was affected by hot and cold more than others. They would always ask me how like my grades were, how I was doing in school, and I always got really good grades. I was an overachiever. I was always super skinny growing up. It was very hard for me to gain weight, and when I would tell people or doctors that I was born without a thyroid, they would look at me like, how aren't you overweight? When I was about 12, we found out that the thyroid medicine that I was taking, I could not take the generic version of it. So around that time, my thyroid levels were consistently coming back abnormal, I guess you could say. My levels were off. Eventually, my doctor found out that although he was prescribing me the name brand, the pharmacy was giving me the generic version based on my insurance. So they had to change that. But overall, I had a very normal childhood. Yes, I had to go to the doctor one extra time and I had to get blood work. And as a child, that was a little bit traumatizing. I hated getting my blood work until I was about 8 or 9 years old. As far as how life is now, being born without a thyroid, the only time things have ever gotten complicated as an adult is when I have a baby. I have 4 kids, and each time that I've gotten pregnant in the beginning, I am drained because my thyroid levels immediately, like my TSH levels, I think it is, spike really high. So the baby starts taking a lot of the TSH or whatever it is from me. It drains me. So they have to quickly adjust my levels. And with my first baby, they didn't adjust my levels until I was like 16 weeks. With my first pregnancy, it was a lot of, I guess, trial and error, trying to figure out what my medication would be. And every single month I had to get blood work done. Every single month my blood work did not come back normal, and they had to keep increasing to the point where I got all the way up to 200 micrograms, I think it is, mcg from 137. My second pregnancy, I believe I also started at 137 and then went to 200. I was at 175 for a while with my second baby, and then with my third it increased to 200 pretty quickly, and with my fourth, immediately I think we went to 175. And then I stayed at 200 a majority of my pregnancy. Now, I just had my 4th baby. Garbage truck is going by. Now, I just had my 4th baby about 14 months ago, and I'm on 175 micrograms currently. And that is because I'm on birth control. Birth control has always made my medication increase. Right now, I'm on Synthroid. And as far as birth control, I'm on the depot shot, in case anyone is wondering. And this is the only time that I have not been able to lose my baby weight. I know weight and having hypothyroidism, a lot of people associate the two together, so that's why I'm talking about my weight. This is the first time that I haven't been able to lose weight, and I'm on a pretty high dosage, currently at 175. Other things that affect me are, I do think hot and cold affects me more than others. I don't think I'm ever really the same temperature, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Also, I do deal with anxiety and depression. I'm not on any medication for it. I probably should go to the doctor for it, but I haven't. I don't know exactly if the two go hand in hand, but possibly, but I wanted to put that out there. Anyone maybe deals with the same. Something else that I've noticed as I've gotten older is my hair. My hair is very thin, and I've talked to my endocrinologist about it, and he said that it's not because of being born without a thyroid. But I've talked to other doctors about it, like my OB/GYN. One of the midwives actually told me that she also has, I guess, a thyroid problem, and she said that it's actually the synthroid that affects your hair. I have yet to get confirmation on this, or I've yet to hear this from anybody else, but wanted to put that out there in case anyone else has this issue and maybe we could talk about it. What I can say is that for anything to be wrong with me, I'm glad it's something as simple as being born without a thyroid. It is something that is very easily manageable, and I just have to take a pill every day. Like I said, the only time that things ever got complicated was when I was pregnant. With at least my first 3 kids, they definitely have a thyroid. My 4th one, for some reason, they would not check in the ultrasound to see if he had a thyroid. With my first 3 babies, my hospital was affiliated with Cooper, and they had Cooper doctors that actually checked to see if they had a thyroid. But for my 4th baby, I don't know if they were no longer affiliated with Cooper, but the Cooper doctors were not there to do the ultrasound. It was just the ultrasound tech, and she said that we cannot do that, where we wouldn't be able to see if the baby had a thyroid or not, which I thought was crazy because from 2008 to 2016, they were able to see if my first 3 kids had a thyroid and able to confirm that. I never got to see if my 4th baby had any issues. I mean, his lab work and everything when he was first born came back normal, so we're just gonna assume that he's okay. I hope this video puts any parents that have recently found out that their kids were born without a thyroid, I hope this puts you at ease to know that, I mean, I have lived a very normal life, and I'm sure most people who also were born without a thyroid have. I actually had met one other person that was born without a thyroid, and it was at my doctor's office. I'll explain this story really quick. My doctor, my current endocrinologist, he had told me that another patient in the building also was born without a thyroid and was wondering if we wanted to meet. So we both had agreed, and they brought the other person in the room. It was actually someone from where my dad is from. They were a lot older. They were born in the 60s. Her parents had also found out from when she was first born, because back then, even in the 60s, they did the same newborn screening. That was pretty cool. I don't even remember her name, but I do remember what she looks like. And yeah, it was pretty cool to meet someone that was also born without a thyroid. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the description. I hope I covered everything. I will see you guys in my next video.